Hello there, friendos. It's your old pal Chad Dukes, and this is my producer, Gigantor. If you're liking what you're seeing here on the Chad Dukes Show YouTube channel, well, we sure would love it if you'd click like on this video, then maybe hit subscribe. Hit that little bell thing. Isn't that what you do? You hit the bell, and then we spam your phone. We sure would appreciate it. And if you don't want to do that, well, then don't. Those seem to be the options. Take care. Tell you what I'm scared of. Well, thank you to the Pie Tasters, by the way, for the theme song for the Chad Dukes Show. The fact that we have theme songs from Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band and the Pie Tasters shows you the caliber of program you are dealing with here. I'll tell you what I'm scared of, Tor. I had a conversation today with a gentleman that I know that works in the radio industry. I don't speak for you, of course. I can't tell you how grateful I am to have this show and to not be inside of that monster. It's the first 30 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Radio is right now. And I'm sure a lot of people are making a great living and it's doing fine. But the horror that I heard about, I'm like, oh my God. It's absolutely terrible. And you know me, Tor, I'm not one of these guys. People have been saying boxing is dead, horse racing's dead, radio's dead. Well, no, it all exists. It's all just fine. It'll find its place, but it is definitely changing, and I don't know where it's going to lead, but woo! That's a tough industry to be in, my friend.
I'm going to need some of that skinny after this.
I'll give it to you. We got a long ride out to Percival after this. Welcome, everybody, to the Chad Dukes Show. Thank you so much for listening. I've bumped into a couple of people, including an Officer Friendly out in Leesburg, who said, hey, I only listen to the free show. All right, no problem. That's fine. Appreciate you listening. I can only tell you this is just a taste. If you do decide to take that big plunge, and a bunch of people reached out to me today and said, hey, I was checking out the free show, and I signed up for your OnlyFans. And I was like, what does that mean? Oh, you subscribe to the show. Now you get the nudes. Now you get the nudie pics. Yeah, ChadDukesShow.com. You can subscribe. We do a daily show. We have done, as Tor did the legwork last night and found out, we have done 6 bonus shows in a row. So that means for 6 weeks in a row, we've dropped a bonus show on the subscribers in addition to what they get for subscribing, just as a thank you. And I was worried, Tor, that we weren't doing enough for them. And I have so many people saying, oh, I'm trying to get caught up. We're making with the content over on the Chad Dukes Show.
Yeah, that's 6 excluding all of the Hootenanny audio.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Sundays.
Yeah, of course. The Friday Night Hootenanny, which we do on Facebook live each and every Friday night, those go up for the subscribers audio-wise. That's the only place you can re-listen to the Hootenanny. Thank you for joining the show. We are presented by Monk's Barbecue in Percival, and we are driving out to Monk's Barbecue in Percival as soon as this show is concluded. Tor, you are, this sounds gross, but you're popping your cherry. We're going out there for your first run at Monk's, and I know you to be a gentleman that could put down some food. Do you have a strategy for your first trip? Because there's a lot we need to accomplish in a very little amount of time.
I'm going to do my best to limit fillers, so carbs, but that means I'll probably only have one little.
Their filler's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm a little skeptical. I'll definitely have one piece of that cornbread with the custard in it.
You got to try it.
Because I have it's come here with the Boss Hogs before, and Ant-Man always eats all of it, so I have to sometimes stash away one square.
That's so sad. We have to hide food from Ant-Man. Is that where we're at now? You remember when he asked Monk if he's got any cornbread in his truck? Like he just drives around with it in his truck? What a dum-dum.
You got any on you?
You got any on you, Monk? I done run out. By the way, he's coming up with his own item to imbibe for the Hootenanny on Friday, so or later on today, whenever it is. So I'm looking forward to that. You got to try a little bit of the mac and cheese, too. I know you're saying no carbs, but you got to try it. And the dirty rice is great. You know what? I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to let you go with your gut. Okay. So today, this show, if you're just tuning in, this basically is a taste of what we do during the week. We put it up for free so you guys can know what we're doing. And again, if the only way you listen to the show is this, God bless you. Appreciate you checking out the show. If you want to like us on Facebook, we do free streams every Friday night, live shows. It's facebook.com/Chad Dukes Show. And of course, we're on Instagram at Chad Dukes Show. Follow all that stuff. That's another free way for you to support what we're doing here. And all of that is appreciated. But just know that after that conversation today, Jesus Christ, you people that subscribe to the show on a weekly basis, I appreciate the mother-loving hell out of you, the melon farming hell out of you. So thank you very much. Thank you to TLC. Auto Detail, my guy Dave owns TLC Auto Detail. I've been friends with him for years. I've been a client of his for years. He's advertised on my shows for years, and it's a great relationship. It's just the best in the area. If you're in the D.C. area, Northern Virginia area, it's worth the drive wherever you're coming from. He's going to do a splendiferous job. Not only is the detailing, I'm getting my Explorer detailed actually this upcoming week. He just does such a wonderful job. He can work on cars, trucks, SUVs, vintage, new, whatever you got. But right now, we had a day where Tor and I admitted that already the Swamp Ass was starting up. I don't know if Tor admitted it, but I'm admitting it right now. It's going to be warm. And he does a great job with the window tint. You want a little more privacy. You want high-quality ceramic window tint to add that privacy. Also keep the interior of your car cool all summer long, baby. Like Kid Rock, who, of course, has a grimy voice, as we learned on Thursday's episode from Young Tor. You want to go to TLC Auto Detail. Here's what you do. Go to @TLC Auto Detail on Instagram. They got a beautiful Instagram. Lots of cool cars on there. @TLC Auto Detail or TLCAutodetail.com. When you visit them, mention the Chad Duke Show, and you will get a special discount off whatever service you get. And many thanks to Dave and all of our wonderful sponsors. All right, this week, Tor. Well, first of all, did you see Cam Newton got re-signed by the New England Boston Patriots?
Yeah.
I think that says more about the quarterback market than it does about anything going on there. And I saw that on top of that Brady got another year extension as well. So I don't know. Are you surprised he'll be back with Belichick? They seem to like each other at least.
I think they're going to give it a real run this year when they don't have, I don't know how many players it was, 6 players that have opted out last year.
Does that seem more embarrassing to you now?
What?
The people that opted out?
I wouldn't call it embarrassing, but I'd be like, look what they did last year. They were able to do it, and now they're definitely going to do it this year.
They had a fantastic season last year.
Yeah. So I mean, the NFL's always going to persevere. They just will. They'll find a way. But they're going to give Cam a real run. I'm assuming with their starters, they're going to get weapons. But I don't know. Tom Brady was throwing to Kembrell Tompkins for game winners against the Saints.
Yeah.
They just. It's about the quarterback. Cam needs to play well, rehab.
He does, but I do think you're right in a couple ways. First of all, I don't think it's embarrassing they opted out. Some people were saying that online, but I think maybe some of those guys would have made a different choice, with the benefit of hindsight. And that team probably would have been more competitive if they had some of those players. Full off-season tour, full off-season to work with Josh McDaniels. He's not going anywhere. Bill Belichick. And the chemistry is there. Like, clearly, Cam Newton likes Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick likes Cam Newton. And I think that's really important. I think this says more. I think Cam can probably play well in New England. He did for a couple of games. I think they relied too much on his legs at this point in his career. But I think it really does say more about it is absolutely desperate for quarterbacks out there. And I think we're seeing that. Taylor Heineke's going to get a chance to start based on, one good game here in Washington, D.C., and people are jacked up about it. It's so hard to get a quarterback. Sam Darnold, I think we all believe Sam Darnold is probably a good quarterback. He might not be on his team this year. I mean, look at the guys. You're taking shots on 39-year-old Phillip Rivers. I mean, you look at the compensation that went for Matt Stafford. You're seeing these quarterbacks. People are absolutely desperate. They're seeing the Final Four from last year. They're seeing Tom Brady go into the right situation and continue to flourish. And I think it's like, look, if we don't have a pick in the top 3 or we don't have a guy that's a franchise guy coming off a rookie deal that we're going to lock up, we've got to do the best we can. And Cam Newton might be the best they got, especially in a second year. So I was a little bit surprised by that, but not as much, I guess, as other people. And the Brady extension, we talked about that earlier in the week on this show as well. Be interested to see Juju Smith-Schuster. He came out and said he ain't coming back to Pittsburgh, basically on social media today. I don't know if you saw that. That's very interesting, Tor, considering what we've already seen from the wide receiver market and guys getting tagged and guys that you thought were going to be available. I've been beating the drum for Allen Robinson here in Washington for a year. That he's not going to be available. A lot of these guys are going to be available. Chris Godwin gets tagged down in Tampa Bay. This guy, even after coming off of 2 less than stellar seasons in Pittsburgh, granted one he was hurt, he is going to get a lot of looks, especially if it's a situation where teams that think that they're one weapon away from competing are willing to overpay. That's a situation I'm definitely going to monitor.
Of course. Juju Smith-Schuster kind of reminds me of Terry McLaurin, though they play their style of play. They both score a bunch of touchdowns. They both can make physical catches. If they paired up, it would be like Pierre Garçon and who was the other receiver?
Reggie Wayne?
I think so. Yeah.
Was that who it was?
whatever that year was when they played the Saints in the Super Bowl.
It wasn't T.Y. Hilton.
No, it was too early.
I think it was Reggie Wayne.
It might have been Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
Those two, it would remind me of that duo. Not as good as Harrison and Wayne, but Garcon and Wayne, I could see that.
Terry's so impressive to me. I mean, it has been. I mean, I'm one of a billion Redskins fans who jumped on his bandwagon. Washington football team fans that jumped on his bandwagon immediately. But I can't imagine him with like a legit number 2 receiver. And look, I thought Logan Thomas emerged that red zone threat last year, and it was tremendous for them. But I'm talking about a legit number 2 where we can't just double Terry, put somebody up top to watch him every single time he's out there. And by the way, still produced each and every week. Subpar quarterback play the entire time he's been here. Guy's an absolute stud. I'd love to get him some reinforcements. Even though it looks like Washington's one of the youngest, most talented teams in the division right now, which is exciting. We'll get to some of that. John McClain will be on the show today. You'll hear from him. He's absolutely tremendous. One of my favorite guests that I've had on any show that I've done. And unfortunately for him, he's also going to be on an episode where we are going to give you the body mass index, the BMI, which of course is the food segment that we do each and every week. But Tor, unfortunately, the gentleman that we bring in to help out with that is named Ant-Man. And he has... Well, how much time do you have? He has some medical problems is the way that I would put it. And if you are at all squeamish about any of the butt stuff, I would probably have your hand on that fast forward 15-second button on your little iPod player right there. But he is a hot mess, isn't he, Tor? Seriously, some of the hardest laughs I've had since we've started the show, whatever we are, 9 weeks in, during that segment where we're talking about him going in to get a colonoscopy.
When he said no grease food, it's just, I mean, he just opens up the door for
no grease food.
For content on content.
What about when the doctor said, cancel my back 9, I've got to worry about Ant-Man's back 9? Nurse, bring over another gurney. There's it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a little gross, it's a little juvenile, but it's seriously, if Tor and I are laughing our asses off while the segment's going on, I hope some of you are as well. So we'll get to that. Let's start with John McClain. You are listening to the Chad Dukes Show, ChadDukesShow.com.
The Chad Dukes Show merchandise store is up and running, so click the shop tab on ChadDukesShow.com for show t-shirts and koozies.
By one of my favorite people in the business, of course, columnist for the Houston Chronicle. He hosts radio, multiple cities. The gentleman has so many irons in the fire. He should be a blacksmith and a thespian. Look, Google his IMDb. You will be impressed. My guy, Mr. John McClain, joins us on the Chad Dukes Show. John, thank you so much, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chad. Thank you for having me. I hope you're doing very well, staying safe.
We don't have any choice. Luckily, have you had your inoculation? Have you gotten your vaccine yet, sir?
I've had my 2 vaccines. I had the second one a month ago, and I feel so much better. Still being very careful. I live in Texas, where our governor has had a mask-off mandate, which has driven most of the politicians and medical experts crazy. But I still wear my mask, and I still socially distance. It's helped me for almost a year, and I'm not getting away from it.
Well, I'm glad you are healthy, my friend. That is the moral of the story, and I'm appreciative. I know it must have been... I mean, John, I feel like every time I talk to you, one of the conversations we have is like, Houston's a big town. It's a top media market in this country, but I never thought it would be the epicenter of the sporting world. And from baseball to basketball to now football, it seems to be that. What has it been like to work in that burg while all this is going on?
First of all, going back to Mike Fire's revelation to the Athletic that the Astros were banging on trash cans during their 2017 season when they won the first World Series, only World Series in Houston history. That created a local and national controversy that has raged for a year. And then James Harden wanted out of Houston. He didn't think the Rockets could win. It was a feudal situation. He told him he wanted to be traded. He wanted to be traded to the Nets. And they didn't trade him. And then he showed up late, showed up out of shape. He didn't play hard. Then he blasted his team, walked off the Zoom set, and next day he got traded to the Nets. And then George Springer, one of the best players in Astros history and a fan favorite, one of my favorites, good player, great guy, great in the community. We knew he was gone. You can't pay everybody. They paid Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman. It really came down to Springer or Correa. Correa's 5 years younger. And so we're hoping they don't lose him next year. So Springer signed with the Blue Jays for $150 million guaranteed. So everybody wished him the best. And then Deshaun Watson caught everybody off guard a week after regular season ended, only a week after we talked to him on Zoom. And he didn't give any indication he wanted to be traded, just that he was frustrated and unhappy with losing. When they went from 4 division titles in 5 years, including a 10-6 record, a playoff victory over Buffalo. They choked that 24-0 lead at Kansas City in the divisional round of the playoffs. And then last season they go 4-12 and have one controversy after another. And he has still not spoken publicly. All we know is he wants to be traded. A lot of speculation about why. But it's reached a point now where I think they should trade him, because nothing good is served by forcing him to stay out, lose over $20 million, and instead of playing for a team he does not want to play for. And I say, why do you want to make a guy who is miserable at the most important position on a team, why do you want to try to force him to play? And Chad, we see teams cut players under contract all the time. Mm-hmm. And this is a case where a player wants to cut the team while he's under contract.
We're seeing more and more of that as well. I want to get to you on that. I want to get to you on the piece that you wrote about a potential quarterback swap in this scenario. Let's start with what's freshest, though, if you don't mind, John. We get the franchise tag today for Dak Prescott. We thought maybe that could happen, but it comes after the monster deal. He's going to make all the money everybody thought. He's going to do it in 4 years. So when Pat Mahomes still has all those years left on his contract, Dak's going to be able to go for a Kirk Cousins like round 2. It sounds like he wins. The Cowboys caved in. Is it as easy as that? Your gut reaction to now that you've had a little bit of time to think about it, how are you digesting this deal?
First thing I thought about on Dak Prescott, after his third year, 2018, I believe, they should have signed him to an extension, but he wanted too much money. And if they had signed him that extension after the 2018 season or the 2019 season, they probably could have saved $10 million a year. Now, he got $1 million more than Deshaun Watson. And remember, when you get a 4-year extension, and Dak's contract was up. Watson had 2 years left, so Watson's extension doesn't go into effect until 2022, when his base salary jumps from 10.5 to 35 million, which is one reason he can't sit out this entire season, because his contract would toll. So at some point he's going to report, so he'll get credit for the season as far as his contract, even though he's going to be fined and not be paid for all those games he misses. And we've calculated that is over 20 million. But Dak had him over a barrel. If he had not agreed and he had signed that franchise tender, they would have had to cut players and restructure contracts to make it fit. So he made that work for him. And he'll be, I think he's 28 now, 28 to 931. So when he's 32 years old, he'll sign a new one, or they'll sign him to another extension. And the way quarterbacks want to play into their 40s now, he may sign 2 or 3 more extensions, just like Watson's 25. And I tell people, hey, by the time he's approaching 40, like Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, he may be making $250 million by then, based on what we've seen and how much the TV money keeps going up in the NFL. So I thought it was a great deal for the Cowboys. We know it was a great deal for Dak Prescott. And this just tells you the Ravens are waiting. They need to get Lamar Jackson signed. He'll make more than Prescott. Cardinals better not wait till the last year on Kyler Murray, because more deals would have been done. I'm assuming Russell Wilson will get an extension. Darren Rodgers will get an extension. So if you don't sign those guys this off season, when the cap's gone down, but you write it in a way where when the cap goes up next year, it will be less painful. You better get these guys signed. The earlier, the better.
I think you're right, and I mean the one thing we've talked about this so many times, John. It's what looks to be unbearable. I remember when Alex Smith got traded for and signed by Washington. Everybody said, "Oh my God, this money you're paying." It looked like a pittance, you know. And with this television deal that's about to come down the pike and the cap going to where it's going to be, it's always going to look more favorable, at least in recent, you know, what's going to happen in the near future than what it would normally look like, even though you think it's a pile of money right now. I think specifically with quarterbacks, I don't know about for Aaron Jones or any of these other players that are going to be out there looking for deals that means that much for, but certainly for quarterbacks, you're absolutely right.
Quarterbacks, cornerbacks, offensive tackles, and pass rushers, the outside guys. Although with quarterbacks getting rid of the ball so quick now, if you got an interior pass rusher who can get to the quarterback and force him to get rid of the ball, to me, they're just as valuable as an outside rusher. And, you know, these contracts that look like there's so much, you know, when Aaron Rodgers signed, it was a record. Russell Wilson, it was a record. And you wonder, where does it end? And one thing I can tell you this year, cap's probably going to be about $183 million, which is $8 more than the floor of $175. Most agents will do those deals where they have low cap figures this year, and the big ones start when the cap goes way back up next year. And if I'm a veteran who's been cut and I'm not 30 years old, I'm looking for a 1-year deal. I'm banking, if I'm in a good system with a coach I like, with a team that has a chance to go to the playoffs. I'm kind of like Shaq Barrett 2 years ago for Tampa. Didn't do squat at Denver, gets there and has 19 sacks. I'm banking on myself playing really well this season and then cashing in 2022 when things return to normal.
As far as things returning to normal, I don't know if things can be normal in Houston when two of your three biggest superstars end up in the desert with the Arizona Cardinals, specifically one of them looking like the best receiver in all of football last year. The business with Deshaun Watson, I think we all know that's the biggest story now that, you know, some of these quarterbacks have already fleshed themselves out. The big golf trade with Stafford, Dak Prescott has got his money. You know, this is going to be the next big mystery. A lot of speculation came on Twitter after this took place, but it's different when it happens on Twitter where no one means anything and everyone fantasy books. And then when you start talking about it in one of your columns, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. We started talking about this after you did. The one part of it that you really pointed out that I thought made a lot of sense, John, is, hey, this is a rookie deal you're dealing with here. This is the most desirable thing in all of a sport. And by the way, it's a quarterback that can play. You know, would that make it a one player versus one player binary scenario or something or like that to take place? Take me through a scenario where you think something like that would be possible.
Well, first of all, I wrote that because the pipeline is flowing between Houston and Phoenix.
Certainly.
And it's not just DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. Defensive coordinator Vance Joseph was here for 3 years during J.J. Watt's first 3 seasons. He played a big role. Cornerback Jonathan Joseph was here for all of Watt's career and Hopkins except last season, and he's there. Defensive end Angelo Blackson has started on the line 2 years with Watt. He's there. So that pipeline is flowing. So I said, you know what? Instead of trading with the Jets and getting like Zach Wilson from BYU and saying, okay, this is our franchise quarterback, or trading with the Dolphins if the GM, Nick Caserio, thought last year scouting for New England that Tua Tagovailoa was a franchise quarterback, you got to market the team. And right now, I wrote for Monday, the Texans' credibility is at an all-time low, and it is. And so if you traded, say, Watson for Murray, and right away, Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Kine, Michael Bidwell, they'd say, no way we're trading Kyler, but they would be doing their team a disservice if they didn't listen, because Watson's a better quarterback. Watson's a top 5 quarterback. Murray's a top 10. Murray's been in the league 2 years. Watson's been in 7, 8, 9, going into his 5th year. Watson's been to 3 Pro Bowls. So Murray is not on level with Watson. Plus, Watson's under contract through 2025. Kyler Murray's going to get more than him, I'm guessing, next year at this time. And so you got him 1 year on a rookie contract, but you could end up biting you in the butt. But no way that Texans would do that straight up. They'd have to throw in some other pick. And this is something I believe, too, that Murray would say to his dad, Kevin, who played quarterback at Texas A&M, was a hell of a quarterback and is very close with his son, has played an instrumental role in him getting where he was. He'd say, Dad, if Deshaun didn't want to play there so bad, he's willing to risk $20 million in fines to get out. Why would I want to play there? Call the A's. And then he could go play an outfield for Oakland.
Yeah, but how much money? I mean, he'd have to give back a pile if he went and did that, though, right? I mean,
he would. And I'm making a joke about it. But you know what? Maybe he wouldn't want to come here. People say, well, he could come back to Texas. Well, he's from the Metroplex, and he can fly from Phoenix on a private plane as quick as he could drive from Houston to his family's home. So I have no idea what he would think, but it just makes sense trading two great young quarterbacks instead of going for unproven guys. But I'm guessing Watson certainly wouldn't invoke his no trade clause to be reunited with Hopkins and Watt.
Hey, John, Tor here. I'm wondering, because recently we just saw Allen Robinson get franchise tagged, and he was probably the most lucrative wide receiver on the market this season. And the Bears, they've been rumored around all types of quarterback situations and possibilities. I know they have the 20th pick, and that's not that desirable for this year's crop and draft class. So right now, after re-signing Robinson, and you got Cohen coming back, and you got Montgomery in the backfield, the offense is not terrible, but I can't imagine that Trubisky's going to last that long in the season. So who do you think they're really going to make this push for coming up here?
Well, they're not getting Deshaun Watson, and they're not getting Russell Wilson. Why would those guys want to go to Chicago, where there's a good chance that Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace will be gone after next season? And you can't get a quarterback out of that deal. And the Texans, I tell Carolina, Denver, they have the 8th and 9th pick. San Francisco has the 12th. Bears have the 20th. Texans aren't trading Deshaun Watson to one of those teams. They got to have a franchise quarterback in return. And the only way you can do that is for Kyler Murray, or take the 2nd overall pick from the Jets, and you get a pick of any quarterback other than Trevor Lawrence. Or if Nick Caserio, like Tua Tagovailoa, coming out of Alabama last year, then get him included in a deal. But everybody else, if they didn't get a franchise quarterback, then that they could at least sell to the public, this is the guy we believe in and plan to develop, instead of, say, A.J. McCarron or Andy Dalton or Cam Newton or a guy like that. They're not going to sell any tickets here.
Would you, if you were Washington, John, we're jumping all over the place, would you trade the 19th pick if that's all it took to get Allen Robinson out from Chicago?
19th pick for Allen Robinson. This is such a deep class of wide receivers. It is a deep draft of wide receivers. I don't like paying at wide receivers unless they are game changers, and there's very few of them. Robinson's been really good with Jacksonville. He's been really good with the Bears. He's yet to play with a quarterback. To me, Washington should do everything it can to try to get a better quarterback situation and worry about a wide receiver in free agency or the draft. But I sure wouldn't spend it for Allen Robinson.
Wow. So you don't like just handing the ball to Taylor Heineke and saying, hey, you're our starter because you had a good game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah, people forget. Every time I was watching Heineke last year, nobody remembered that he played for the Texans.
So you've had an eye full of him.
It was a cup of coffee, and that coffee spilled on him, and he was gone.
Don't tell that to people around here. People around here are drinking the Kool-Aid for sure, like they were with Colt Brennan and everybody else that's come through town that can throw a football. It is Sports Radio 610 in Houston, all over the place on the radio. I would follow him on Twitter. I do, for timely NFL information. McClain _on_NFL. And, of course, for the Houston Chronicle as well. The gentleman is incredibly busy this time of year and all times of year. Really appreciate the time. Mr. John McClain on the Chad Duke Show. John, thank you so much for the time, brother. Really appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much. Good luck to the Washington football team, of whom my wife is a diehard fan, and she wants to see them win another division title and kick the Cowboys' butts.
Like that.
Thank you.
Like that. Thank you so much, John. Oh, shit. There he goes. John McClain, everybody, on the Brenco Solutions Hotline. It is the Chad Duke Show.
You can always donate to The Chad Dukes Show using the Donate tab on ChadDukesShow.com. You'll help us keep improving the product, and you'll earn yourself a verbal nod on the next episode. We thank you for your support, friendos. This is the Body Mass Index on the Chad Dukes Show.
Just touch and go there for a minute because, of course, this was a big week for Ant-Man. Not only is he fighting hepatitis, which I believe is not some Greek mythical creature, it's killing him, but this is the week he was going to have his cornhole piped out with the colonoscopy and the fist-sized hemorrhoid. And we didn't know that you'd live through it, Ant-Man, but here you are in all of your glory. Quick update. We got the new cord for the Final Fight machine. It's still broken. So if anybody I got a couple of messages from people that say they work on arcade games. If you would like to come take a look at this thing, I'm prepared to give it till this time next week before it goes down into the dumpster. Hello, Ant-Man. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Chad. How are you doing, bud?
How you feeling?
I feel pretty. You
just knocked over
refreshed.
your vape there,
I know. I gotta say, the worst part of the whole colonoscopy was the prep.
Everyone always says that. It wasn't pleasant when I did it, but maybe just because I have so much diarrhea, I really didn't think it was that big of a deal either.
It wasn't even that part that bothered me. After I started doing the drink every 15 minutes, the 8 ounces or whatever,
yeah,
I literally started having like chills and just felt awful for like an hour, and then it went away. But man, I have never spent that. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom.
You do spend a lot of time.
A lot of time.
But you're also the princess in the pea, so like if there's any discomfort whatsoever, you generally don't handle it all that well.
Yeah, I don't handle anything.
Hence
well.
the sock's halfway down my leg. I'm going back to bed. Well, I'm glad you made it, but that's a good message to give people. Like, it's not. I know it's nerve-wracking leading up to it because you're going under and they're going into your butt and you're having a bunch of diarrhea. So there's nothing about it. You're like, I'd like to do this over a weekend sometime.
Yeah.
But it is. I feel like lots of dudes are like, no, I'm just not doing it. It's on the scale of. I had more horrible things happen to me during a physical, at a doctor's office than anything that happened during the colonoscopy.
Yeah, the colonoscopy itself was pretty smooth. I honestly didn't feel like it wasn't like afterwards I felt like somebody probed me. Like you just feel I woke up. So this is what's crazy. Of course my drug history is well known, and my veins are completely shot in my arm. So the poor nurse had to put the IV into my foot, into my ankle.
What?
Yeah, because I have no veins in my arms, dude, and they couldn't do it in my neck.
How do your arms exist if you don't have any veins?
Well, I do, but they're like all scarred over, or they're so tiny and have such bad issues that they can't put them in there.
Did you suggest your dick?
No, I should have.
Did you say, hey, just shoot it into my dick for one time for the old time's sake?
And I'm glad I didn't, because this is what happened.
All right.
So we go back, and the doctor's talking to me, and I know he's just distracting me while they're about to knock me out because they've got me positioned. And
they got you up on your side?
Yeah.
By the way, that's kind of embarrassing, too.
It is.
How many blankets did they have to use for your ass?
I couldn't count after 2.
Nurse, could you stitch together some more blankets, please? Mr. Pizzo is coming in.
Yeah. And when I got off the scale and I saw her reach to the bottom.
Nurse, clear my schedule. Look at the size of his ass.
When they were giving me my gown,
sewing the blankets themselves.
Yeah. Cancel my back 9. Have you seen this back 9?
When they weighed me in,
Nurse, get a second stretcher for his other butt cheek, for God's sakes. He's going to take down the whole floor.
Oh, God.
Jesus, that's a big ass. Was any of that stuff said?
I hope not. It probably was.
They waited till you went under.
Yeah,
they're nice.
For sure.
There's just so much material here.
But when they went to give me
so much material in that blanket, too. They used to. God, look at all this material in this blanket we have to use to cover this ass. Come on, hey man, you knew some of this was going to happen.
Oh, I did. So when I go to get the gown, it's literally like small, medium, large, and I just see her go to the bottom. There's no tag, so I know that I'm in trouble. I've gone past all the sizes of gowns, and this is for mythical creatures that walk through the door. That's
right. We had to give a killer whale a sonogram once. We used this for them. It's a very modest killer whale.
So
it was a youth.
I'm a puke.
So all that is, whatever.
Do they have a gown that fits your ass? I mean, everyone's ass hangs out of the back of a gown. Like, what is it like for you?
This gown was so big, I could wrap around me.
You should have taken it with you. Can I take this with me for Saturdays and Sundays?
I should have.
You like to be comfortable.
I do. It would have been amazing. So she says that she's going to give me the anesthesia.
Right.
But I had to stand up out of the wheelchair to get onto the table because I couldn't walk from my prep room to the operating room because I had the IV in my foot.
It was in your foot?
It was in my ankle, like right here, right by where your ankle bends.
So do you have to tell them, hey, I've shot heroin for 10 years or whatever. I don't have any veins left?
As soon as she looked at me, at my arm, she goes, oh, you're going to be a problem, aren't you? And I said, good luck.
Oh, no. Good luck to you. You're the one that's getting stuck over and over again.
And she literally said, I'm going to go get the nurse's name. She gets paid the big bucks. That lady came
Deal
in,
with people like you.
and she goes, all right, so we're not going to go in your arm, so we're going to go in your foot. And I was like, all right. I mean, that's where they take blood normally. From
Is it really?
Yeah, either my
That's gotta
foot or
hurt.
my neck if they can't find it.
Your neck?
Yeah.
My neck and my back.
But so I guess when I was getting onto the table, the IV came out. So when she first went to push the anesthesia in, my foot felt like it was getting torched with a flame. I mean,
Oh, really?
It was burning. And then,
Your foot was burning.
yeah, and I just hear the doctor go,
Might have some dead toes.
that IV, that IV might not be in. She twisted my ankle, and then I woke up.
Oh, really? Dude, that was the bit with me. I love that bit. Does it make you feel better about dying?
If I die like that, I'll be so happy.
Tor, have you ever been put under?
Yeah, I have.
I swear to God, I feel better about dying because you're just talking, and then all of a sudden it's over.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is just going to be what it is. Like, I don't have to worry about this.
When I
remember waking up and being like, oh, I can't believe I woke up.
I literally woke up and I kind of sat up a little bit, and the nurse just sees me sit up, and she goes,
And the gurney collapsed.
Just calm down, you're okay. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
Cinnabons! Hey, man, I was getting mad texts from you while you were going through the process because you have to fast before you get a colonoscopy.
Oh, it's awful.
I've never seen anyone bellyache like you were bellyaching about having to fast.
I was so hungry.
It was like 4 hours in, He's like, I've never been this hungry before in my life, Dukes. I'm going to Arby's the second I get off the gurney.
So that's another interesting thing.
Okay.
When I came to, they gave me a Diet Coke and a bag of Cheez-Its. Which
That's very nice. They
I
know
was
you.
super excited for.
You would have done that for yourself.
Yeah. I was not that hungry after.
It's because you had all the stuff in you. The
Yeah.
chemicals to put you out. Usually people get nauseous after they have that stuff.
Yeah, I literally ate a half a bag of the Cheez-Its, and I mean, I ate the rest slowly, but I thought I'd be able to pummel them because I was so hungry, but when I woke up, I just was not hungry.
Maybe that's your key.
I was thirsty.
Your key to dieting. You just got to go there and have them dope you up every once in a while, and you won't eat.
Excuse
I think
me.
it works perfectly.
I'm back for you to knock me out so I don't eat today.
They kept offering me shit. The whole time I was there, they're like, do you want this? You want that? You want this? You want that? I'm like, no. I will take care of my food and my beverage when I get out of here. Please let me leave, and then that will be all I want.
Yeah, they got me out of there quick, too. Once I was awake, I was out of
They
there.
probably
within
wanted you out of there
15
quick.
minutes.
This bottom-heavy dope head is really giving us a bunch of problems. Get him the fuck out of here.
Surprisingly, out of the 7 people I saw, I might have been I wasn't the smallest one, but I was in the bottom half.
I feel real bad for those people. I mean, I just don't think anyone, they must not think anyone on earth keeps himself in shape because everyone I saw, and myself included, was overweight. Well, also they're the ones having the health problems.
Yeah.
Like it's too early for you to be going in for a colonoscopy, but you haven't taken care of yourself. That's why you got to go in. Now, I mean, I forgot how many polyps I had, but I remember when I was Jackson Polyps, they gave me the world record title holder. I brought the piece of paper in here and showed it to you, and there were some angry looking Quado motherfuckers on there, and they scraped them all out. How many polyps were the total?
Only 2, and they were not that big.
You know what? That is very surprising. You got to get some props for that.
Yeah.
Only 2. We're going to start calling him Only 2, Tor. That's his nickname around these parts. What did they say about the fist size hemorrhoid?
So apparently the suppositories knocked it back down some. I have something else
What a revolting.
going on.
By the way, this is supposed to be a food top conversation.
We're going to get to the food.
I might never eat again. This is what I need to diet, is just to do this segment with Ant-Man every day.
There's
revolting
something
thing.
else that's not a hemorrhoid that is almost like a little pocket.
A
that
fistula.
fills- Yeah, maybe. I can't remember what he called it.
Probably a fistula. A lot of times those are up there.
Yeah. And
They found some stuff up there, is what you're saying.
yeah, and that's where the the issues are most likely coming from. He said those will just, he'll keep an eye on them. I'll probably go back in 5 to 10 years, depending on
5 to 10 years
how my body reacts.
Wow.
And then,
I got the old 3-year comeback.
Oh man,
they want to see me immediately.
Well, that's because you were Jackson Polyps.
I was Jackson Polyps. Now, did they give you the everything's cancer free, or do you got to wait for the biopsy?
He sent him away for biopsies. I should know next week.
Yep, I got I got a written letter from my doctor saying you're cancer free, and I have it on my refrigerator.
Oh, nice.
I was very happy, especially after I was dubbed Jackson Polyps.
Yeah,
and everybody said that as I was walking out the door. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like overall a positive experience, then, except for the ankle, issue.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was probably I was the most nervous about this because I haven't been put under or anything since I got clean, and I was really nervous if my body was going to be able to handle anything like that. And it was so smooth and easy process.
Dude, I mean, it's like riding a plane. Like, there's way more anxiety involved because you read all the disasters are such a big, like Bill Paxton dies while he's going under. Everyone freaks out, like, I'm going to die. But how many colonoscopies do you think they did that day?
Oh, a ton of them.
They had 16 after me. I asked the motherfucker. I said, how many more colonoscopies? He goes, we have 16 today. And I was like, I'm so glad I host talk shows.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather hang windows or do whatever Tor does.
Yeah, one every 30 minutes. I mean, it's
crazy.
They're cranking them in.
They're just piping out people's assholes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But everybody there was nice. So, I won't be as nervous next time.
I don't like the fact that you have a healthier asshole than I do.
I know. That's
it bums me out.
I was surprised by that.
I've never had a needle in my dick.
Yeah, well.
Thank you. I've been called needle dick by women when I pull down my pants, and by my father, which is very weird. Now I see the giant McDonald's cup, so it appears now I got a big weepy tweet from you or text. I'm going on a diet. It's time for the life change, Dukes. This is it for me, New Leaf. But I see a monster McDonald's cup there.
Yeah, I had to stop and get a drink on the way in. I still have a $25 McDonald's gift card that I need to burn up. So
who gave you that?
I don't know.
Probably me.
Yeah,
I've given you a lot of fast food gift
Kathy.
cards over the years.
Yeah.
Kathy should not be giving you no McDonald's gift cards.
Yeah. I probably
You ever think maybe Kathy wants you dead?
Maybe.
It's possible.
All the food gift cards.
Tor, what do you think? I mean, if Kathy is sitting there seeing Ant-Man's condition, she's giving him McDonald's gift cards. Like, my wife would never give me a McDonald's gift card.
I think she would have taken care of him by now.
You think so? Just pillow to the face? Not like he can stop her.
It would have been over
seriously.
by now.
She's in way better shape than you now.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'd get winded so quick.
I'm out walking the dog, like getting a little fresh air, a little exercise. These two old women blow past me. I mean, just fucking woof on either side. And they're doing the bit where they're doing that weird woman grab the air bit. And I'm like, oh, that's so lame. But then I realize, I can't walk as fast as these bitches. They're way too fast for me. They're in way better shape than I am for walking around the circle. So now, when I pop out to walk the dog around, we have a big circle in our neighborhood. I walk the dog around the circle. I got to look left and look right to make sure I don't see nobody, because I'm going to get lapped if I do. It's so embarrassing. Short, stubby, fat legs. All right. We haven't talked at all about any food yet. We've just talked about Ant-Man's. Oh, I just spilled Coke syrup. Oh, we're good. We're good, Tor. No big deal. We can get that in a second. Let me just hit the sounder.
This is the Body Mass Index on the Chad Dukes Show.
Not my strongest performance this morning, boys. I'm a little discombobulated, as we discussed on the first part of the show. I apologize. Hey, man, good to have you back for the BMI. You're on time for your segment. That is to your credit. Tori might need to print out this audio sheet again one more time. What is on the menu for today, my friend?
Well, today I kind of went in a little different direction. It was not anything I had to cook, but it was a new item that they have at possibly my new favorite grocery store, Aldi.
That's your new favorite grocery store?
Just because they have all kinds of crazy stuff.
Dude, you're a simp. Aldi is the lowest of the low rent.
It's the worst. Aldi's the worst.
I hate Aldi. I would rather go. Here's what I'd rather have happen to me, Tor. Say you have to shop at Shoppers Food Warehouse for the rest of your life, and then every day you're going to give Ant-Man a colonoscopy every single day for the rest of your life.
My granddad goes to Aldi because it's so cheap, and then it's just a family of
yeah, but so Dollar Tree, dude. You shop at Dollar Tree?
No, I don't know.
I did when I was strung out. I used to go get the microwave dinners from Dollar Tree.
Oh my! No wonder you need a colonoscopy at 39 years old.
So I actually went there to try to find some of that cheese I talked about on the last BMI.
You usually go there looking for cheese, from what I've heard.
Yeah. And I stumbled across a new Cajun spicy crab dip.
Okay. At Aldi?
At Aldi.
Oof.
And It comes in, like the little dip container. It was only $2.79, so
wow.
I'm giving it a 5 for that because crab dip is usually pretty expensive.
Generally, when you want crab, Tor, I don't know about you. You want the cheapest crab you can possibly find, and from Aldi if you can get it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. That sounds like the worst possible dip ever.
Well, let me get to it.
Okay.
It had nice size lumped chunks of crab.
I bet.
The dip, it was a good amount of the dip. It was $2.79. It was actually pretty healthy for you. The spice,
healthy for you?
I mean, compared to everything else I eat.
Okay, that's a fair comparison. This turpentine is generally better than what else I usually eat. It's considered healthy.
Yeah, on the container, it recommended crackers or dipping chips. I went with the Ritz crackers. Not healthy for you.
No, somehow Ritz crackers, they inject butter into the cracker. I don't know how they do it.
They're so good, though.
I'm not a big Ritz cracker guy.
That might be one of my favorite crackers. Is the
Triscuits.
Ritz.
I usually go with the
those are good,
Triscuit
too.
for just charcuterie purposes.
Yeah. But the dip, the spicy dip actually had a little bit of a kick to it. It wasn't overwhelming to where somebody like me couldn't enjoy it, but it wasn't such a little amount of spice that you were like, oh, all right, well, where's the spice?
Well said.
Yeah. Look, man.
I know you were unconscious recently.
Yeah. So for the flavor, I gave it 3.5 because I've had better and I've had way worse. For the price point of $2.79, I'm giving it a 5. I mean, you're not going to find crab dip anywhere else for that cheap.
Probably for a good reason.
And overall rating, I'm giving it a 4.
A 4 for the Aldi spicy Cajun crab dip.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Can I ask you why you found yourself in an Aldi?
Because I was trying to go find the cheese from the St. Patrick's
Oh,
Day
right, you
cheeses.
said that.
Yeah.
Tor, I went to Aldi for my first time. I think we talked about it on the show. Mm-hmm. They do cheese advent calendars at Aldi, and it's the only place you can get them. So ever since I've filed that away, and just for snack purposes to talk about it on the show, what have you, I was like, I need to go to an Aldi. There's one right down the street. When I tell you I was, the moment I walked in, I was so incredibly depressed for one of two reasons. One is that it existed. 2, how many people were shopping there. And 3, that it was America. Like, if you would have told me that this was third world country, okay, fine, this is perfectly acceptable. I just have such high standards for what we do here in the contiguous United States. I don't know about Alaska and Hawaii. That I just, and it's in Fairfax, it's one of the richest counties in the country. I don't want to sound bougie, but they just put shit out in cardboard boxes. Like, I don't know if Aldi is a nationwide grocery store that people have out in Phoenix, or if they're listening to Kansas, all the Delaware feud that we got, blood feud going up north. But Aldi puts out, and it's all their own brand shit from what I can tell.
Yep.
They just put out boxes of garbage, and Ant-Man's walk around picking through it.
It's like their gimmick. That's like what Aldi's kind of known for, is just having boxes on boxes, and nothing's like properly shelved.
And you got to put your 25 cents in the cart so that you don't steal your cart, because you can't get your quarter back if you don't put the cart back in and link it to the cart.
What?
Yeah, so to get a shopping cart, you have to put a quarter in, unhook it, and your quarter's like, you could see it, but it's stuck there. And
But
then
isn't
to
it-
get your quarter back, you got to link it back into the chain of grocery carts.
Yeah, but who is going to, if you want to steal a grocery cart, is it not worth a quarter to you?
Exactly.
That's a dumb, stupid. I mean, but it is.
Although if you're shopping at Aldi, a quarter might be.
That is low. A quarter could probably buy you a bag of ramen at that pile of shit. Gigantor, I can't tell you the last time I went into a grocery store and left without buying anything. I don't know that it's ever happened, and it happened when I went to Aldi.
Have you ever been into that new place, Lidl?
Lidl?
Yeah, there's.
No.
It's in where the Shoppers used to be in Burke, and there's a couple of them. But it's not like Aldi at all. I guess it's a German grocery store that's coming here.
All right, hey, man, do you have any sides? I heard there was, not sides. What is it called? Dollar menu items. I love the dollar menu items. Well, hold on a second. Let's make sure that we are properly sounding correctly for the segment.
This is the Body Mass Index on the Chad Dukes Show.
With Ant-Man. What's on that dollar menu, Ant-Man?
So starting on March 11th, and I think this should have been going on for a long time, but Chipotle is adding a quesadilla to its menu.
I feel like this is a reoccurring story, Tor, where there is just we get the Chipotle is adding queso. Chipotle is adding a quesadilla every 6 to 8 months.
It's a snoozer to me. I'm a Moe's guy, so it's not the case.
Didn't make the joke. I love Moe's Southwest burritos as well. Chipotle is the most overrated fast food place in America, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I do love quesadillas. But I know I've had a quesadilla from Chipotle. Did they take it off the menu? Now they're adding it?
I don't know. From the article that I read, it sounds like this is going to be the first time that it's an official item. I guess you could have gotten them made while you were there. You could request
possible.
that they make the quesadilla, but this will be an actual menu item now.
Moe's Fixins Bar, top notch. Also, the chips and queso they have at Moe's is exceptional. And I like their rice, too. I find like the Chipotle rice in the burrito, they just pack it 75% full of rice with a little bit of carne asada or whatever. Moe's gives you a nice rice ratio.
The only time I'll really go and search out like soda at a restaurant is Moe's, because they have that peach tree soda, and it's a delicious like peach soda that comes right out of their little mixer fountain. It's delicious. It's fantastic.
They have some peach options in the Coke Freestyle machines you should explore if you are into the peach sodas. There was a peach Coca-Cola a ways back that was just horrible. Coke does a really bad job of whenever they give over their soda to a flavor, they just completely boot out any Coca-Cola flavor. And it just becomes like a peach soda. That's one of the things I like about the Wild Cherry Pepsi. Wild Cherry Pepsi to me is the perfect fruit cola because you get equal parts cola, equal parts Wild Cherry.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'm not big into the cherry colas. I don't know why.
That's weird. What about the cherry vanilla Coke Zero?
I do like those.
That is the premium diet soda. It's, of course, they immediately got rid of it. Immediately booted it on down the road. Tor, do you have anything on the dollar menu?
I have a couple things on the dollar menu here, and as I've already proclaimed, I am, I guess, a soldier in the chicken wars. So I did make an effort to try a new chicken sandwich that was debuted.
I did think it's funny that you said a soldier in the chicken wars when it's been called the chicken sandwich wars, and I like that you started. No, I prefer soldier in the chicken wars. As you know, the chicken sandwich wars is a blog creation that makes me want to drink cyanide.
I went to McDonald's recently, and I know that they rolled out their new crispy chicken sandwiches to try to combat Popeyes.
Was that man leaving or arriving at the McDonald's when you got there?
I think I might have seen Tor.
Tor, what you doing here? I already bought it all.
Yeah, that was my second trip of the day.
They're out of Diet Coke and fish fillets.
I'm interested to see what he thinks about these, though, because I've looked at them. And I
Don't you be ordering no fish fillets, Tor. I already got them all.
Man, that sounds like an amazing lunch.
That is the worst.
I got both the crispy chicken, the spicy crispy chicken sandwich, and the regular crispy chicken sandwich. They were both $4. The spicy was the better of the two.
Always is.
As it had I don't know what type of spicy sauce they had on it. It's still
common. I'm guessing
the chicken itself still average at best.
Yeah.
The bun average at best. So the spicy, because it had a little bit of spice and they had the pickles on it, I can give that a 3 out of 5. And it was $4, so they have to match that Popeye's price point of their $4 chicken sandwich. The regular, here's where it really gets disappointing. There was nothing on it. There was no sauce, no nothing on it. It was a dry piece of chicken with 2 pickles on it, and it was a 2 out of 5. There was nothing. They try to do what Chick-fil-A does, where they don't need sauce on the chicken sandwich.
Yeah, but the Chick-fil-A chicken is such a superior variety. And also, I have to say that at this point, the Chick-fil-A bun is so superior to a standard McDonald's bun. And they pickle brine their chicken. Does McDonald's pickle brine their chicken before they fry it?
There's no shot in hell. That chicken was dry,
Yeah.
and you just needed something else on it, and they didn't have it.
It's the basic bun. They don't use like the seeded bun or anything special.
It's not like the McChicken or the McDouble bun. It's like right in between that good hot, puffed up bun and then the trash bun that they give you on the dollar menu stuff. It was just a normal bun for a chicken sandwich. It was nothing special about either of these items.
Ant-Man told me that his favorite show on the Disney app right now is the Ham and Swiss Family Robinson.
That sounds delicious.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but
I feel like if you're going to come out with a new chicken sandwich with all the chicken sandwiches, you should at least try to make it good. And to hear that it's that disappointing is kind of sad.
I don't know. I think they really went after the McDonald's marks, and they said, okay, you guys are going to Popeyes for your good chicken sandwiches. You guys are going to Chick-fil-A. Here's something for you. Go ahead, eat this up. And then I don't know if they are. I can't imagine that this is. this was not more satisfying than a McChicken for me.
After he told me about his favorite show, he said his second favorite movie on the Disney Plus app was the Pirates of the Caribbean, the drive-through line at Taco Bell all the time.
Because he's always in the line.
See? Pirates of the Caribbean, the drive-through line at Taco Bell all the time. Long way to go. Long way to go on that one. Oh, that's a lot of fun.
I do also have a news story.
Oh!
Which is Beyond Meat, which is the...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the plant-based product.
What are you doing? You're a woman so polluted. You're polluting our segment.
It made me laugh because the article said they signed a multi-year contract with McDonald's, so I thought they phrased it like it was like a free agent signing.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
A multi-year contract for the...
Is this where we're at now at this point?
For the McPlant Burger.
Oh, my
So that's
God.
coming to McDonald's from
The
Beyond Meat.
McPlant Burger.
That sounds awful.
That is the worst.
And then Beyond Meat is also signed in with the Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut for their non-meat based products to come later in the future. But right now, the big signing is Beyond Meat to McDonald's, and Beyond Meat and the Impossible brand, really the two big in the
McPlant Burger. Can you imagine how disappointing it would be if they signed the McAnt Burger? Do you know what a bust that would be, Tor?
That would be a terrible burger.
That'd be like the Achilles Smith of burgers. Cade McNown of cheeseburgers. Hey, man, you don't like any of them fake burgers?
I've had one that I liked. Is it the Bubba Burgers that makes the
Bubba Burgers?
Not Bubba. What's the one you told me to try?
Oh, you're talking about the Boca Burgers.
The Boca Burgers.
Right, but that's just out of the freezer aisle. I'm talking about like all these places now that you go to buy burgers, they all have like a substitute. I think I had one at Glory Days that was pretty good. Actually, they brought one around for me to try. And it just tasted like, it didn't taste as good as a cheeseburger, but it tasted fine enough.
Yeah, I haven't tried one yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll try something for next week.
Did they tell you about not eating as much red meat when you got your colonoscopy?
Yeah.
That's the first thing they said to me.
Yep, not as much red meat. I need to watch how much grease food I intake.
Grease food.
Yeah, and there was something else, man. I was in such a daze when the doctor was talking to me. It's
John
all written
Travolta
down.
shows up in a leather jacket. He just brings you a tray of food. I can eat this food, man. I can't do it, John. Take it away from me, please. No more grease food.
Just a bunch of malts.
That's hilarious. You just can't go to the drive-thru. You can't go to the soda jerk. You just can't do that.
Anything that's sold at a sock hop.
Exactly. If a dance card breaks out, you can't have anything
Body
to eat.
Mass Index on the Chad Dukes Show.
No more drag racing for Ant-Man while he's having burgers and fries. Boys, this is big. You know how I feel about Burger King. I am not a fan, but for a limited time through April 19th, the Sourdough King is back at Burger King. I do like the new throwback imaging and marketing and logo work. It looks very cool. It's like 1970s there. The reason why I think this is a big deal, first of all, quarter-pound flame-grilled beef patty, thick-cut bacon, American cheese, ketchup, and here it is, the ubiquitous mayo on a toasted sourdough bread. Apparently it's going to be on the Burger King 2 for 10 meals, so you can mix and match, which includes the Whopper chicken fries, original chicken sandwich, big fish sandwich, Ant-Man.
Nice.
And the single Sourdough King. It'll also be available in double. The Sourdough Jack at Jack in the Box is my favorite Jack in the Box burger. There is no Jack in the Box out here, but there was out west. Sourdough burgers are great. I love them, especially when there's a couple of slices of bacon on there. I don't know what it is. I like sourdough bread, but it seems to really complement it. There's always a lot of butter on the sourdough. I think that's something that I would like to see a burger place that I really do like. Like, I would love for Five Guys to try a sourdough burger, or
That'd
one of
be
those,
amazing.
like not a fast food, but a fast casual burger joint, Habit Burger, someplace like that. I love it, and it always bums me out. Like, I wish every place that had burgers would sell a patty melt, and everybody would sell a sourdough burger. And whenever they have one, if it's a fast food place or a sit-down place, I always get one because I just think it's a great combination. I wish they were more commonplace, I guess, is the theme of this story.
I think BGR actually has the sourdough burger. I'm not 100%.
I had such a bad experience with BGR. I mean, it's just so expensive, and I just don't think the quality is... Because I don't mind... People bitch about Five Guys price, but I know when I go to Five Guys, I'm going to enjoy the shit out of my meal. Like, it's the same thing. I don't mind paying for shit I enjoy. especially if it's quality. But I don't want to pay $18 for a burger just because, Five Guys can get away with charging me $18. That's why I don't like Freddy's. You go into Freddy's, and Freddy's is the same price as Five Guys, and they give you half the size of the burger, shoestring fries, and I'm somehow hungry when I walk out after spending $18.
Yeah, I agree with that. Freddy's definitely could make bigger burgers. They're expensive. BGR is pretty expensive as well.
Expensive.
Some of their burgers at BGR, they have one, the cheddar bacon. It has something else on it. I can't remember right now, but it's pretty
Did
good.
you ask about the brain holes when they went up in your ass?
No. I should have. Maybe I'll have them do a brain scan next time.
Tor, this man can't put a sentence together. Do you feel bad at all yet for slamming him on the ground in the beach house and clearly ruining his life?
Yes, I have. I still feel bad about it.
Hey, man, have we contacted any representation for you?
Not yet, but my memory is getting worse.
It is?
Yeah. I've really been struggling these past few weeks.
That's horrible.
When I'm telling you I'm forgetting stuff at work that I normally would not, I wouldn't forget it.
Are you gonna
scheduling and like stuff like that? Like I had an appointment the other day and I just looked at the calendar, saw the appointment. So my boss called and asked me to do something. I went to help him out and totally forgot that I was supposed to be going to an appointment.
Hey, man, I'm not a litigious person, but you slipped and fell and cracked your head open and went out cold because of their negligence. Yeah. Like, have you looked into some resources there?
I have talked to Ted. Well, I've mentioned it.
You talked to Hot Man?
Yeah.
Well, good luck. No, I can't come out.
So.
That's how the conversation went. No, we're not friends. I have a fiance. Dude, Tor was there. We got him in the back the other night. He came up here to host the WandaVision show, which was fun. And he came out on a weeknight. Clearly, if it's about Marvel, he'll come out.
Yeah.
We said, Ted, why won't you come out at all anymore for anything? And he said, I'm really busy. And I said, well, what are you really busy with? And he said, well, I have a fiance. And that was it. It's the only thing he listed. But I still don't think it's her fault. I think it's him just being so obsessed with the relationship that he won't for a second allow himself, because of that one fateful night where he got drunk at Whole Foods and then Booty called her up and she came over and he was passed out in front of the Wolverine. I think that he's had a hangover from that ever since that moment. That's why he won't hang out.
Well, didn't he think he was going to die alone at one point?
Yeah, he told that really sad story that I regret laughing at as much as I did, where he pulled his car into the garage, closed the garage, and he didn't say he was going to kill himself, but he kind of inferred it because he was in the garage, in the car, with the car running, and he said, this is all it is. It'll never get any better than this.
Yeah.
Then I'll give him a pass. If you're down bad like that, you get a little bit of a pass from me.
Yeah, but here's my problem, Tor, is that she might leave, she might, you can't rely on somebody to fix you. You've got to fix you.
And even if she doesn't leave, at what point is it you just want to get away and have a night to yourself?
I don't think he does. So I think you're looking at it from your perspective. I've thought about this a lot. We're looking at it from our perspective. Tor hates getting strangled out by chicks. So he's not going to be able to understand where Ted is. Ted wants that. He wants he doesn't want a partner. He wants a caretaker. And I think that's why he's happy. And he keeps saying that over and over again. He goes, I'm happy. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That makes sense.
Now, if he was happy, if he was shooting, dope between his toes and saying, well, it makes me happy. I'm like, well, that's still not okay. But what are you going to do here? She ain't beating him as far as we know.
Yeah.
It's instant family. We know he wants that.
Yeah. I think it may be different, too, once they live together. Because right now they're not under the same roof.
For her.
Well,
I think it's going to be different for her.
Yeah.
Because that's the X factor. She's a normal person and he's autistic.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't need to write that down. He says that. Yeah. He says he has autism.
Just try to do my due diligence.
I appreciate that. I'm not poking fun. I'm saying that Ted, I have spent a week at a time with Ted at the beach. Shit happens that you can't even explain. Yes. I have put all of the plastic bags from the week into a bag tour, and I've held them up in front of Ted's face and said, Ted, I'm taking these home to recycle them. Don't do anything with them. And then I have watched him 10 minutes later pick them up, walk them downstairs, and put them in the trash. I can't explain that, and that's 1 week. Can you imagine all that stuff? Big Rick says every single morning he takes an hour-long shit. Could you live with someone that every single morning they shit for a full hour?
Oh, you got to get
and
up
he
and do that
doesn't
4:30 or something.
I guess.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that when she stays over. There's no way.
So you think he's going to be a 2-hour shit the next day? You think it builds up?
Maybe he's running out to the woods on his run, but he can't. I mean,
Also, the doctor keeps telling him like his hips don't work and his knees don't work and he needs to stop running, and he just won't because that's what he needs to do. That's his pattern.
Tell him to swim.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's what Joe Thomas did. His joints were all messed up.
Swimming's great.
Yeah.
Swimming's great. I think swimming's probably the best exercise for you, isn't it? Uses the whole
It works
body.
your whole body, yeah.
Or how about this? Buy a goddamn, what is that thing? The Peloton?
Elliptical, yeah.
You can buy a Peloton. Go buy the best Peloton on the market. Buy 3 of them in case you don't like the first 2. I love Ted. I love him to death, but he's his own worst enemy, at least in my opinion. All right. Well, that's good. Anybody else have any more stuff?
I have one more story.
Oh, one more?
Yeah.
We got time for one more, man. I like talking food.
This is the Body Mass Index on the Chad Dukes Show.
Also, we spent the first half talking about your asshole.
That's true. So right now in Fullerton, California, Taco Bell is testing deep fried cheese curds. Now, hopefully they make it this way. I love cheese curds.
They're great.
The image of them, while I know it's not going to be exactly what they come looking like from Taco Bell, they look amazing. The deep fried cheese curds, it looks like they have a cheddar and a mozzarella flavor that they're going to be testing. And, hopefully it makes it to the market because I love their nacho cheese fries, and I think Taco Bell could crush a cheese curd.
It's going to surprise you. Not in favor of this. Cheese curds are like kind of a Midwest, northern Wisconsin style food. It really doesn't have anything to do with Mexican food. I like Taco Bell. I don't mind when they get creative, when they have like their naked taco or their crazy chalupas, Mexican pizzas. So like this not clearly they're making this stuff up too. But a cheese curd doesn't belong at Taco Bell. It belongs like at Carver's. Also, this is going to surprise you, man. I'm not big on fried cheese curds. I love cheese curds, like the squeaky cheese curds that come out of the bag. Like we used to go to Wisconsin when I was a kid up to Door County, and you would always buy a couple bags of cheese curds and put them in a cooler because you couldn't get them down here. Like now you can go to Wegmans and buy cheese curds, but the cheese curd as a whole, as a snack, I love, but it almost feels like too oily and too much, and almost you can feel yourself dying as you're eating them. I like food that's bad for you that you actually don't feel too bad about eating.
Yeah, cheese curds you definitely do feel bad about eating.
Especially fried cheese curds.
Yeah, they're not healthy.
Look, you enjoy what you enjoy. For me, that one kind of jumped off. I don't know about that fit. Now, if they're delicious, I'm sure they'll sell a billion of them.
Yeah, the fit probably isn't the greatest, and I agree with that.
Well, you're not going to be fit if you eat those.
No.
I know that.
But being that the 2 Taco Bells I go to, well, I take that back. 2 of the 3 are the Taco Bell KFC things. I think the cheese curds could go pretty well with the KFC.
You're such a depressing rotation. I don't even, when I see a KFC at Taco Bell, I just drive right by it and I think, thank God I'm not going in there for food. They just are so sad to me.
I on the cheese curds, I would rather have no cheese curd than a mediocre one. I think that's it's a snack that should be reveled in its glory, and if you're going to give me a mediocre one, a fast food one, I'm just going to deny it because there's so many fond memories with good cheese curds.
Good cheese curds right out of the bag, just having them in the fridge and then pulling them out. I love them so much. There comes a point, I like some of the decadent stuff, and I feel like it all came from state fairs, like we're going to deep fry Oreos and Twinkies, like that's all commonplace now. Everything is covered in Flamin' Hot Cheetos crust. I don't know when that started. I don't know when it'll end. I just don't know how much more you can do. Like, I don't know how much more funfetti we can inject into a cupcake. I don't know how much more everything bagel spice we can put on top of laundry detergent. It's over. As much as I enjoy talking about the stuff and trying some of it, it just feels like it's overkill at some point. I hate to keep using the Five Guys analogy. When I walk into a place, Tor, and I see they have burger, fry, milkshake, soda, I'm like, oh, this place knows what they're doing. And I just feel like that, especially the barbecue joint. One of the reasons why I like Monk's so much is Monk's doesn't have 750 things on the menu. Yeah. They have like 4 or 5 things, and they do them all really, really well, and there's probably a special of the day. So I get what you're saying, man. I'm not shitting on the story. But I like going into a place and knowing what they make is really good and it's not gimmicky. And I feel like Taco Bell and Burger King right now are the 2 places that just gimmick the hell out of their food.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Are you going to be all right?
Yeah.
You're hosting a segment.
I know. I'm struggling. Oh, man.
Now, I'm going to talk to you off the air.
I had a blank out right there.
A blank out?
Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Are your parents worried about how your senses and your ability to communicate seem to be degrading?
Yeah, my dad is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
He's pointed it out?
Something to me, yeah.
What did he say?
Well, because he asked me to go get something, and I went to the kitchen to get it, and I came back with a soda. I completely forgot that he sent me to get something. It's just not good.
Oh my God, this sucks.
Now, to be fair, you're selfish and lazy.
Yeah, but it was something for both of us. It wasn't like it was something to complete our business taxes. And I just walked right by it, grabbed a soda, and walked right back. And then when he said, "Where is the paper?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
How come you haven't forgotten that you like soda?
Well, because
wouldn't that be useful? Like you could forget that you like soda?
Yeah, but as long as I always have one in my hand, I won't forget that I like it.
Okay. All right, excellent. Hey, man, you showed up today, and I appreciate that.
Yep, thank you. That's all I'm good for.
Well, you were prepared. You were prepared, too. We got to get those brain holes looked into.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Tor, I don't know how to get out of this. Help me.
I don't know. I gave him a parachute with the Pringles over there. In case.
Oh yeah, we do
no.
have.
Let's do that.
Some scorching hot cheddar Pringles.
All right, so you brought these in for us to try. These are new Pringles.
Yep.
Right.
And I got the scorching hot barbecue flavored Pringles.
I've always been kind of mystified why there's not more spicy barbecue flavored fill in the blank. Whenever there's a spicy barbecue sauce to purchase, I will generally give that a go for those reasons. Thank you, Tor. All right, I'm going to start with the barbecue flavored. Now, Mike, I'm going to call my shot and say that these taste like Pringles. Because all Pringles just taste like Pringles to me. All right. It does say new on them. I do like the imaging on the package. Apparently this is not recyclable. And this is the cheddar. All right. Are these the only two flavors available, man?
Yeah, these are the only two that I've seen. They may have others, but there was a large display of scorching hot, and this was all I found.
Anyone like to go first?
I know you don't have a big fandom of Pringles, Dukes, but I think that the sour cream and onion Pringle is a top 3 chip in my book. These are fantastic to me. I think the barbecue tastes like barbecue, but it also had heat, and the cheddar tasted like the cheddar Pringles, but it also had some heat to it. I could feel it. I felt it. These cans could get annihilated right now. I'm actually very impressed and surprised by these.
All right. Ant-Man?
So I agree with Tor that the barbecue flavor has a barbecue flavor and is hot. I totally disagree with the cheddar. The cheddar just tastes like hot. I can't taste the cheddar at all. But it is spicy. I do like that they're not like some weak flavored. They're not. I've definitely had hotter chips, but these do have a little kick to them. But I enjoyed the barbecue one. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the cheddar one, though.
Okay. First of all, Tor, I don't want... when I characterize Pringles the way I do, I don't want then to sound like I don't like Pringles.
Gotcha.
I very much like Pringles. Do you remember you know what Olean is?
I do not.
About 15 to 20 years ago, there was this product called Olestra, and it was called, they refined it down, I believe it was called Olean. And basically what they were able to do was a fake fat. So they would put it into Pringles, and they would put it in Doritos and a few other chips. They were called Wow chips. And they basically made regular Pringles taste like, they were regular Pringles, but they were fat-free. When we thought that fat was all that mattered and calories and sodium, all that stuff that mattered. Now, it gave you violent diarrhea, so they pulled it off the market. Yeah. But I used to pummel the crap out of it. I think it's why my stomach is messed up as it is now, is I used to just crush that stuff. Pringles were in heavy rotation back then. They had the barbecue and the sour cream and onion, the regular flavor in the Olean. I'm with you. I think sour cream and onion Pringles are very good. But any type of non-sour cream or ranch flavored Pringles, barbecue, spicy, cheddar, all of them, they all taste the same. I don't know if it's because of the chip. It has a very distinct taste, but I love the stackable. I love the duck. I love it all. Neither one of these are spicy. First of all, you both are nuts. There's no heat at all on either one of these. And look, I'm used to seeing things that say spicy and they're not. If you say scorching hot, I should have some sort of a tingle, some sort of a pushback. You know, you should be screaming while I'm dragging you down the alley, at least, if you know what I mean. There's none of that. There's none of it. Ant-Man is out of his fucking mind. The cheddar flavor is way more pronounced than the barbecue flavor. I get the barbecue and I get the cheddar in both, but actually I threw the cheddar in. I said, wow, this actually is a very cheesy chip. And I wasn't expecting that from A Pringle, and B, a scorching hot Pringle. So I need you to go to the emergency room. These are good. I like these. I would eat these. If Tor brought these into the studio and said, Dukes, I brought some chips, I'd be like, oh, good. Unlike, when my wife brings home regular Lay's, and I'm like, well, you clearly don't want me to eat these. But there's nothing scorching hot about them, and I'm judging both of you for trying to sit here and perpetrate like there is, because I think maybe you want people to think you eat spicy food, and you don't. You clearly don't like spicy food. You like Greek yogurt, and that's cool, but don't sit here and say that these are hot, because people that enjoy hot food are then going to try them based on your recommendation and then think less of you, and I don't want that.
Now, they're not sabritones by any means. They're not Takis. They're not in that realm, but on the baseline Pringle, what's the spiciest Pringle we got? The pizza?
Just because it's spicy for a Pringle doesn't mean it's spicy.
My mouth is burning.
But you are a giant. I'm not even going to finish it. We all know. And you're the princess and the pea. You can't take any stimulation whatsoever. You like ice cream. That's the only thing you can take.
No, I do like that.
But they're not bad. I would give them a 3. I give both of them a 3 out of 5, and for a Pringle, when I am rating them, that's rather high. Tor, what's your score?
These are 3.5 out of 5. I would buy these again if I decide to. These would be a good come home from the bar and just put down the.
Agreed.
Put down the
also very good for drunk passengering as a snack, because way less crumbs than if you're getting like a bag of chips from the Come and Go. What about you, man?
I'd give the barbecue a 3.5 and the cheddar a 3.
All right, fair enough. I think you should try the cheddar again. I think something happened. I think your brain kind of turned off the taste buds there for a moment.
It may have.
Make sure you sign up for the Chad Duke Show mailing list on ChadDukeShow.com. Be the first to know what's happening on the program and maybe even win a prize or two. We promise we won't fill up your inbox with tasteful nudes. Well, we promise we'll truly make an effort not to.
Splendiferous episode, as always. If you want to hear the full episodes that these were on, go to ChadDukeShow.com. Subscribe today. It's a couple of bucks a month. And look, cancel your WWE Network. Cancel your Sirius. Cancel your Paramount Plus. I don't know. You have too many subscription services as it is. We're delivering you unique and original. No reruns. This is unique and original content every day. Then you don't have to listen to political talk or sports talk, because let's be honest, yeesh. A couple of things. We're going to be live tonight on Facebook Live, the Chad Duke Show Friday Night Hootenanny, every Friday night. Well, almost every Friday night. But certainly this Friday night, our special guest will be none other than Charlie Brews from Fair Winds Brewing. Of course, he is responsible for our brand new beer, the Fortress of Solid Dudes Light Lager. We'll be releasing that Monday out at Fair Winds from 7 to 9. Of course, there is a limited amount of people that can be inside any building, so try to get there early if you'd like to come out, wear a mask, all that stuff. But the beer will be available on draft, but available in cans, cases, 6-packs, all types of good stuff. We're going to be giving away an Xbox Series S, brand new next-gen console to somebody there that night. I hope they like it this time, Tor. That's always embarrassing. But the hoot tonight should be fun. People should go over to Facebook.com/Chad Dukes Show. Click like, and then I think there's a little bell icon. You can click that too, and then when we go live, it just kind of pops up on your phone or your laptop or what have you. Now, Tor, you got to work tomorrow. The hoot is aggressive, and we're debuting the show beer. Have you kind of put some thought into how this is going to unfold for you?
I'm really hoping I can get a big down layer with Monks today and get
nice base.
Yeah, I need a good base from that. And then
can you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. When you can you work in a shit at home between that and when we're here? Because your habit now of coming to the studio to take the massive 45-minute dump that you've been saving up, I don't like the schedule we're on right now.
Well, then don't go down to the second floor right now.
I have to. It's the only place there's a bathroom. So you've already done it? You already got here and did it?
Yeah.
See, I roll up here, and I'm like, I was a few minutes early today, and I looked and I saw Tor was already here. I'm like, oh, he's in there working already? We're getting ready. This industrious young man. You're just coming here to defecate.
Yeah, and it was the second time already today.
Not here.
No, yeah, one at home, one here. I come here. I don't know what it is.
What's going on with you?
I get into this building. I take the elevator up, and it just immediately hits me in a wave. I don't know if it's nerves. I'm telling you, I tighten up, and I got to go do it.
So you're in here alone, and you have nerves, and you tighten up, and you have to blow it out your ass.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it's the smell of the place. There's some type of trigger that I have in this building that makes me have to take one, and I got to get it out.
Makes me have to take one would be a terrible name for an episode. All right, well, just please try to leave that at home before you come up here tonight for the Hootenanny. It's going to be a good time, though. So thank you to Charlie and the good people at Fairwinds Brewing. The beer is absolutely delicious, and I think you'll be able to get it. Well, on Monday, moving forward, you'll be able to get it out there at the brewery. Anytime you like, go out and check it out for yourself. Man, it was a big, fat, full week. There was a bonus episode this week. We did a full WandaVision recap. Bonus episode next week, too, by the way. We're going to be doing, what is it? The Fortress Film Society, our movie club, is next week as well. That'll be sweet. So it's a good time to subscribe. Go to ChadDukesShow.com and sign up. If you don't like it after a month, cancel. You can do it. It's no big deal. I don't do that thing where I lock you into a yearly contract. If you like it, keep going. If you don't, we part as friends. Tor, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank you to the good people at Monk's Barbecue for sponsoring this fine show, being our presenter for the Fortress of Solid Dudes, our studio. We would have nothing without them. And if the good Lord is willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll meet you back here for the Hootenanny. Roll out the trash cans.